Sony, you just effed up. Oh my god. Oh, really? Okay, well, if you haven't heard by now, and I'm absolutely upset, but I'm trying to just keep a little bit of cool. Sony has pulled Spider-Man. Okay, hasn't officially yet, but Sony is looking to pull Spider-Man out of the MCU, and that's because they can't agree to a financial deal with Marvel that they enjoy. So the original deal was Sony would make 5% out of the total gross of the movie. So for every dollar that the movie made, Marvel would only get 5 cents. Yeah, they weren't making much, but having Spider-Man in Civil War, having him in Infinity War and Endgame, yeah, that just brings that extra oomph to that movie because everybody loves Spider-Man, and he was an important part of those movies, or the comics, I should say, as well. And he became a huge part of the movies because everybody loves Tom Holland. He is fantastic. But now Marvel wants 50%, 50-50 split. Is that asking for a lot? Well, according to Sony, yes, but for as much work as Marvel puts into those movies and how successful they've done, can you really blame them? I can't. Maybe a 40-60 would be fine. I don't know if they would want 30-70 for all the work that's put in, but Sony ain't having none of that. And Sony, I just want to say, you just screwed up so badly because honestly, the backlash is not going to be fun, especially if when it is confirmed or if they make a deal. Okay, great, but right now everybody's pissed, especially me, because he is so important. Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Tom Holland is just so integral to that MCU now. Could they do without him? Of course they could. But why would you want him out? He is an important part of just the whole MCU in general, or not even MCU, but the whole Marvel Comics line in general. So, god damn it, I just don't know what to say to this. But so could it be that Sony thinks that they're much bigger than they are? Honestly, I'd say they think yes, because let's say the original Spider-Mans did well. They did great. I'm not going to lie about that. Amazing Spider-Man also did well. What? 700 million, 750 million for Amazing Spider-Man, 700 million for Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I believe a budget of around 200 million, somewhere around there, a little over. That's quite a bit of money, and hey, fantastic for you. Then we've got Tom Holland coming in, and well, after his first movie, Homecoming, 880 million. Far From Home, 1.1 billion. Now, what would happen if Spider-Man wasn't part of the MCU? We don't know. That's all. This is ifs and buts. But that bringing him into the MCU just made people want to watch what happens, and that just brought in so many more people. Because you know how many conversations I've had with my friend. What's gonna happen to Spider-Man? What's gonna do this? I mean, heck, after Far From Home, for like 2 weeks, all we could do was talk about what do you think's gonna happen to Spider-Man. Oh my God, that ending! If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I don't know why you've been waiting, but just I need to know what happens with this. I don't know. To be honest, if Sony pulls out of this deal, I'm much as I don't want to do it, I'm probably going to pull my support for Sony and Spider-Man because, yeah, just F it. You just went so far in, and now you just want to pull out because you're not making enough money. No, just no. But so what Sony think? They probably think they have a huge leg to stand on because, you know, Far From Home, Homecoming, both did great. But they're forgetting it wasn't just them. Marvel had a huge say in everything, from casting Tom Holland to the stories. Kevin Feige worked so well on everything. But then came Venom. Venom obviously came out before Far From Home, but it did $856 million. And This was without Marvel's input. Of course, Amy Pascal did say, "Oh yeah, he's probably gonna be part of the MCU. Yeah, he's gonna be somehow. It's part of the same universe, even though we knew it was going to be different because Venom At the same time, Kevin Feige said no, but Amy Tell says, yeah, he is, yeah, just wait. And, that drew so much interest in what's going to happen. I watched the movie because I needed to know what happened. And, well, I didn't care for that movie. It was okay. I'm not going to say it was bad. It was fine. But, ugh, I just, just so upset. I mean, come on, Sony. Yeah, there is another part of the deal that most people might not be familiar with. So, when Marvel and Sony do make a Spider Man movie together, it does not count towards their deal. So, when Sony bought the rights to make the Spider Man movies, the agreement was, I think they have to make it once every 3 to 5 years. I believe it's 5 years. The contract could be different every single time. But if no Spider-Man or Spider-Man related movies made it within that time, well, then the rights get returned back to Marvel. This is what happened with Fantastic Four. This is what happened with Ghost Rider. This was what happened with X-Men. But of course, since Disney bought all the rights back from Fox, well, they pretty much bought out most of Fox. They think they still have a few things. I just don't need to get into that. You can just see tons of videos or read parts of like what Marvel didn't buy. Um, this is just what happened. So Venom was that movie. Venom was that movie that was part of the Spider-Man because it can fit characters that are part of the Spider-Man universe. Hence why we're also getting Morbius and all that. That's part of that deal. So now they have a little more room. We know we're getting Venom 2 in, I think it's 2020, 2021. We'll have to wait and see. So far, it's supposed to be 2020. Then we've got Morbius coming. But now they've got Spider-Man back, so they can do that and somehow intertwine it. Yes, I think those movies should have been intertwined in the first place because you cannot have Venom without Spider-Man. You cannot not have Carnage without Spider-Man and Venom. It's just all these things. And honestly, ugh. I just want to bang my head on the table because this is just a stupid move. But all the power, all the true power comes down to the fans, the people who are spending the money. Because in the end, money talks. I'm going to boycott. If this happens, as much as I love the movies, as much as I love Tom Holland, he is my favorite Spider-Man. Yes, I liked Andrew Garfield. Yes, I did like Tobey Maguire. Tom Holland just perfect for this role. But I will boycott the movies. And yeah, you know, I was excited. I think it was yesterday when it was announced that it's Sony Interactive. Sony Pictures and Sony Interactive are two different companies. I was excited when they announced, hey, you know what? Sony's buying Insomniac Games because it's something I was expecting to happen a long time ago. Ratchet and Clank, Resistance, Marvel Spider-Man was just amazing. I'll still support the games, but I just won't support the movies because, yeah, that president of Sony Pictures is a mighty gigantic idiot. But again, as I said, it all comes down to us. We boycott. We say we're not going to watch the movie. We show enough anger. Marvel's going to win. And I think Marvel knows this. They know there's enough fans who are going to be completely furious at, with enough support, with enough demand, they're going to win. Even if they're going to end up getting 60-40, maybe 70-30 because they know how important it is, but it's just them negotiating from this point on. Uh, you know, there's just so much to talk about. I'm just going to wait and see what other announcements we get, but I'll just end that there. I wanted to make a script, but I kind of went off. I never had a chance to make a script because I just got home, the news broke, and I was furious. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Sorry for all my ranting, and well, what do you guys think?